Hey there, it's Leona. Welcome to Zen Mindfulness Shodo. Today, we're gonna practice Shodo meditation while focusing on the Hiragana character for ne. So, let's begin our beautiful journey together. When you write a character, imagine a square about the size of the character that you are gonna write like this. First, I'm gonna write it. Then I'm gonna explain the points and tips for writing the character beautifully in detail. Let's explain in detail. This first stroke starts from a point slightly above and to the right of the center point of the top left square. As you can see, this line is not completely parallel to the middle vertical line, but is slightly inclined to the right. It's not as steep as this, but it's a line that's slightly tilted to the right, while curving slightly to the left as you write downwards. Gradually thickening the stroke allows you to better express the characteristic curved beauty of hiragana, making it appear more elegant. As for how far down to write, it's to a position where the middle horizontal line is about in the middle, meaning a position where the space above this starting point and the space below the ending point are about the same size. Then, from the ending point of this first stroke, the pen moves upward to the left with this kind of movement. The second stroke starts from a point a bit above and to the left of the middle of the left half of the middle horizontal line, about here. Draw an upward curving line, moving upward to the right until it's slightly to the right of the first stroke. At this point, draw a line at about a 60-degree angle, moving down and to the left until it's slightly to the left of the starting point. Pause lightly here. Then draw a line at about a 45-degree angle upward to the right, reaching about the same height as the turning point of the second stroke. To a position where the spaces on the left and right of the square box look about the same. At this point, it would be natural to curve upward to the right like this. After moving up to the right like this, now curve downward at about the same height as this turning point. For this turning point, if you turn sharply like this, it will look like the hiragana re. And if you curve down roundly like this, it will look like the hiragana wa. So it looks best if you don't turn sharply, but also don't curve too roundly, with a curvature somewhere in between. After turning, move downward almost vertically, parallel to the middle vertical line. But naturally, this line will curve slightly to the right as it goes down. As for how far down to write, stop at a position slightly higher than the end point of the first stroke. Curve to the left while turning. Curve upward and then move down to the right while gently curving upward. For the loop formed by the intersection of these lines, if you curve it roundly like this, the entire character becomes a bit rounded and cute, but it also gives a somewhat childish impression. So unless you're intentionally writing cute characters, creating a loop that's a bit flattened horizontally like this will give a more mature impression of this character. Be careful not to let the lowest part of this loop go below the end point of the first stroke. For example, if the right side drops below the end point of the first stroke like this, The overall center of gravity will tilt downward to the right, which doesn't look very elegant. In calligraphy, even if it's not as extreme as this, writing with a slight upward slant to the right tends to give an impression of confidence. Why don't you try practicing with these points and tips in mind? The key points for writing hiragana characters, as explained in the video, are concisely summarized in this book in a similar manner. The book allows you 3 pages to practice each character. It can be purchased on Amazon. See the link in the description. I'm gonna practice 1 page of this workbook this time, but you're welcome to practice as much as you want. If you're practicing with a pen, I recommend that you place a few pieces of paper under the page that you're writing on, so that the ink doesn't bleed onto the page under it. Alright, let's get started.